was a miserable morning in the Yunnan region of southwestern China as the villagers were struggling to survive. The Little Ice Age continued to run its destructive course, pillaging all of the fruits of the villagers' labor.
So hungry.
Little did they know that a more devastating force was on the horizon. The grass is not greener on the other side.
I am the Black Plague, a deadly epidemic disease with the potential to destroy all of humankind. But first, I must travel through several animals.
Fleas, squirrels, and rats. The very same rats boarded ships with humans.
Yes, I've made it. Now I can rule the world.
In the early 14th century, Mongol campaigns helped the Black Plague spread from the Yunnan region into China's interior. An epidemic in 1331 reportedly killed 90% of the population in Hebei province in northeastern China, near modern Beijing. During the 1350s, epidemics broke out. Okay. The plague spread through widely scattered regions, killing about 2/3 of the population in some afflicted areas. In the 1340s, Mongol merchants and other travelers helped spread the disease along trade routes such as the Silk Road to points of West China. It finally reached its peak throughout Eurasia. Victims of the Black Plague developed inflamed lymph nodes in the neck, armpit, and groin areas. So they developed black and purple bruise-like spots on their bodies. It typically killed 60 to 70% of its human victims and had the potential to ravage a society within a few months. However, areas with frigid and cooler temperatures were not affected as badly, such as India, Scandinavia, and it surpassed sub-Saharan Africa as well. In lands hit hard by plague, it took a century and more to begin recovery from the demographic consequence of epidemic disease. China lost 85 to 75 million people. Europe lost 79 million. They couldn't recover until the 19th century. Because of the heavy demographic toll that is levied, the bubonic plague disrupted societies and economies throughout Eurasia and North Africa. Epidemics killed the young, the weak, and especially the old, and spared no particular groups. Peasants and laborers, artisans and craft workers, merchants and bankers, priests and nuns. They were all affected. The disease caused massive labor shortages, which then generated social unrest. So what about this ravaging, malicious bubonic plague? Well, it covers 3 of the 4 Ds of history: death, disease, and destruction. Particular regions of the world, in example China and Europe, experienced dramatic declines in population, which therefore led to the social unrest where people began revolting and moving away from those areas. Those affected during this period were not thoroughly prepared for such an epidemic disease, which is why the Black Death preyed on its victims so gruesomely.
Ian.